Right, I have been doing a lot of experimenting, I have. I don't know why I spoke in my farmer accent, but I tried to find a way in which lower level players can do some really, really simple, easy event farming that may or may not be a little bit cheesy. See what I did there? So, the premise behind this is the events. We've basically got, 3 weeks left of them now. We've already had one. And one of the quickest and easiest ways to level up, which gives you the stars that you can buy your caches. I would recommend named caches because DZ exclusives, trash. Why they've done that, no one knows. Or you could, I'm not going to tell you what caches you should or shouldn't buy, but named caches are generally the preferred, shall we say. So, the easiest way to get them is typically by leveling up, because once you've done all the little event tasks, you can't get any more other than leveling up, or wait till the next day. But there's only 4 days of the event tasks. So one of the quickest and easiest ways to leveling up is doing resource convoys on heroic with at least 3 or 4 directives. I do 4 because it does work out quicker. You do 1 resource convoy is 1 level, and it just speeds up the entire process. Now this is the point that a lot of people are going to be sort of like, yeah, and it's easy, or others are going to be like, oh, heroic with 4 directives, that sounds like a nightmare. If you're one of those people that thinks this sounds like a nightmare, then this video is actually for you. Everyone has their own way of farming the resource convoys on heroic with a varying number of directives. It can be easy, it can be hard, it all depends on how you play and what build you have for it. This is quite a common build, but I've been testing and playing around with different builds that allow you, as potentially a new player or an up and coming player, to be able to put this straight on heroic with 4 directives and farm resources. There obviously still will be mixed results. It is not a perfect system, but this is the easiest way in which I can figure in how to do this. It is kind of a skill build. It's mostly a status build, and it gets rid of those resource convoys depending on where you position and where you situate yourself, as well as if you know where the enemy is going to spawn, which really does help, but you'll come to learn that the more you actually do. And you can get through these resource convoys in just a few minutes, and then grab your resources, go up a level, and then move on to the next area. So here we have a resource convoy coming round at where I am, and just while you're here, have a quick scan around as well. We are using Eclipse Protocol, so you can farm it at the time of recording this. It is currently at the Pentagon, or just go to Summit. You will need 4 pieces, including the chest and backpack. And all we've got to do is mark the resource convoys, go to their position. You kind of want to get ahead of them. This way you can control where they spawn. If not, just come up behind them. The directives we are using are Fog of War, Fragile Armor, Pistolero, and Special Ammo. We're not using scavenge skills because we don't care about ammo, because pretty much all of our damage is coming from our skills. And if we really need to shoot something, just have a semi-decent pistol equipped. But we are focusing on skills, which is why we don't want scavenge skills. We want everything else. It does kind of make it a bit annoying. You can't see where the enemy's spawning. You don't have the red little direction markers on your mini map. Every time you lose all of your armor, the armor will be cut by 25%. The enemies will have special ammo. Hyenas will have disorient bullets. They basically drug you, which is kinky. Outcasts will have fire bullets. True Sons will have bleed bullets, which I find ironic because being shot makes you bleed. Weird. And the Black Tusk will have EMP bullets. Because of that, you will want to avoid Black Tusk. Now, because I know where these guys are going to spawn once I aggro them, I'm going to place my hive in a place where I can easily get it, so not on top of the car. That is going to cover where I want it to cover. They're going to come out of the door on the left. I don't want to cover the door completely, because if the enemies end up going straight into the hive, it will basically expend all of the little stingers and I won't have anything for the second wave. So I want it just offset. And all we're going to do is just set these guys on fire. Give them a few shots. As you can see, it's not going too well on my end, but once one of them dies, the fire spreads because of the build. And then from there, we can just keep applying the burn, try and stay out of the way. And then the moment the last guy dies, which will be there, they will spawn out of that door. And we want to apply both the bleed and the burn on this one using the stinger and the chem launcher, which will do a hell of a lot more damage. Because these guys are coming out to attack you where you can surprise the other ones, you kind of want both statuses here, and you only need one for the initial aggro. Once they're all dead, run over and pick up your lovely resources. Enjoy the XP, you've just gone up a level and got a star. When you get a bit better at this, it will obviously be a lot quicker. I can get these down to about a minute or two each, roughly. And it all just sort of depends on your experience. Now, this is a very easy build to put together. I just want to show one more convoy just to sort of show you how quick these can actually be done. Right, so that is essentially one resource convoy done. All I've got to do is go pick up the resources. That is how quick you can literally do them once you get a little bit more efficient in them and figuring out where the positioning is. So this build, it is actually really damn simple. Weapons don't really matter. I do use the capacitor just in case I do get ammo, but it's not really required. Everlasting Gaze just in case, which is okay, I suppose. It helps increase the duration of status effects, which is actually really handy, as well as the strength of them as well. But don't worry too much about the weapons, just try and equip yourself with a decent pistol. For the mask, I am using Vial. If you can't get Vial, just use like a Wyvernware or Empress piece and just put some skill damage on it. You do want 4-piece Eclipse. You will need the chest and the backpack. For my final piece, I have Golem gear. You might notice I have pretty much status effects rolled everywhere. Apart from on the knees, I have one skill damage. That's just because I'm using the Stinger Hive to get a bit more damage out of it. With Golem gear, the set bonus is status effects, 15%. Don't worry too much about what the actual attributes are. Just try and get one that either has skill damage or status effects on, and then just roll the core yellow. I am using Firewall to increase the duration of the burn, but Technician will work just as well if you don't have it. And I really do hope this helps a lot of people farm on Heroic for those stars. It should be a lot quicker and a lot more effective. Anyway, have fun, good luck, and don't die. It's bad for the health.